Hey guys, I'm back. I got another project today. I guess my wife thought I was bored, so I made a comment a couple days ago about the um, what we call the bus. This is the 2008 Denali. We put a sending unit in it, and I was digging around on the back of it. It looks like the valve covers are leaking really bad on it. So I don't know if that's the problem, but it's leaked quite a bit of oil for quite a while. And today's going to be the day, I guess. So I made the comment to the wife a couple days ago, so she went ahead and ordered a set of valve cover gaskets. So we're going to see if that won't fix this thing up. First off, I got it out in the yard because I didn't want to stain the driveway up with all the grease. Then I got the power washer out and gave it a good cleaning. So we'll see what happens with this. So be a little bit easier to get to, and a little bit, well, not easier to get to, but a lot cleaner, I hope, to be able to get to the mess. Because you guys did not change these valve covers on these. They're not too bad, just a little time consuming. I've only done a few sets. I'll flip this around, show you what the mess. So yeah, she just looked at it because what do you, I don't even see the valve covers on there. And I said, well, yeah, they're buried underneath everything else on these motors. So anyway, yeah, this is the, what is this? An '08 6.2 all-wheel drive Denali. So we're just going to change the valve covers out. There's a lot of oil down the back of this motor underneath this thing. So we got out in the front yard and power washed it down real good, top and bottom. I crawled underneath of it and got it off the cross member and off the back of the pan, and best I could get underneath of it. So what I'm going to do is, once I get digging into it, I'll show you guys what's going on more about the tools and the sizes of wrenches and all that BS that you need. But anyway, like I said, it's been a while since I've done it, but this is pretty much what we got going on here. It's, like I said, it's been a while since I've done one of these. So anyway, we got it cleaned up a little bit better, and we'll go from there. Yeah, you can see all these wires. I mean, they're pretty dry rotted. All the coverings, all these plastic windings and stuff. Well, you can see this one's just falling apart. It's pretty brittle. So anyway, like I said, guys, this thing has been a great investment. We have got 1,000,000 miles on this thing. It has been awesome, comfortable to drive. She has not let me lower it, so it is not lowered. It's all factory on the bottom end of it, so it's been really nice, comfortable to drive, loaded up, get in and go anywhere still. But yeah, it's been great. 290, right at 292,000 miles on it. I hope it keeps ticking because it's, like I said, it's comfortable. I can drive this all the time. I don't have to worry about, at this point, unfortunately, door dings and keeping it clean and shiny and all that stuff like the new truck. It's so much, I don't know. I guess it's relaxing to drive this one compared to the new shiny one. You got to be careful where you park and who you park next to, and you guys know the drill if you guys are particular about your vehicles. So anyway, that's what we're going to work on today. I'm going to start digging into this mess over here, see if I can't remember how to get to this without too much effort, and see if we can get valve cover gaskets on it. I'm really hoping once I get these apart, hopefully I can find something that's actually wrong with them and see, because I'm really hoping that's the problem. If it is, I'm going to save a ton of money just in oil that I buy every couple months about oil on this thing. It has been, like I said, I don't even know if it's the problem. I just know they're leaking, so it may be the problem, but it does leak quite a bit of oil. So, but anyway, I will set this down and we're going to get to it. Well guys, let me get this on the ground and show you what's going on with it. I'll get it in here on the workbench and show you what we got going on. Definitely the lack of maintenance and oil changes for this vehicle. Doesn't look good. Sorry about the mess, but my hands are greasy. I can't flip this around, so let me put this up here on the bench and show you what we got going on. I don't see anything obvious with the valve cover gasket but itself, but you can tell it's definitely lack of maintenance, or well, 300,000 miles too. These have not been off since I've had it, so we'll see. I'm going to pull these gaskets out, give this a good cleaning up on the motor, on the head side of it, and then same thing on the valve cover. I'm not sure if I'm going to disrupt too much of this mess on there. The motor inside of it doesn't look too bad, it's just the valve covers are real bad. So we'll go back out here and take a look at that. So guys, yeah, the valve cover looks pretty rough, but as far as the motor itself, doesn't look too bad on the inside of it, considering what that valve cover looks like. Flip this around and show you what we got. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, yeah, it could look better, but I mean, it doesn't look too bad. So I'm gonna get the vacuum out and then start working on these surfaces right here. I don't see anything obvious that would have been leaking, so we'll go from there and see what else we can figure out. So I know that I think it was on the 5.3s, not sure on that, but I've got a 5.3 in my old truck that it's got I don't think it leaks too bad. I mean, it's got a drip occasionally, but it doesn't have I think it's got an oil consumption problem with it. So I think they make a newer style valve cover that I'm going to look into, but I'm going to get her back on the road and then I'll figure that out. I'm not going to worry about it right now, just because I don't know if it's consuming oil or not, because I don't drive it that much, and it's definitely not even ready. So guys, I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to swap it out, clean the head up on it, then we'll get this side put back together. But then I'll go into details about what parts I've used, or not parts, but the details of I guess the tools that I use to get this all cleaned up and taken apart. So I'll be back with you soon. Hey guys, I've got a real quick update on these valve covers. One, I found another set that I had good and ready and cleaned up. So I'm going to use the ones that are ready and cleaned up. They've been sitting around a while, but I just cleaned them up a little bit more. But the surface and everything else is good to go. But I'm going to show you what I've got going on with the bolts that hold these down. Let me flip this around. I'll show you what we. All right, so the kit comes, of course, with a new gasket, and then they also come with, if I can get it dug out, comes with these. So these go inside there, and then what they are is actually, I have not cleaned these up just so I can show you guys what's going on with them. So they go on this rod right here that goes down inside. So I'm going to slide this. So see how that slides up and down on there? So it goes on there for that. I've got one taken off, so you got that. So I'm going to put some kind of slickum on there, so this will go inside there. But I may end up taking those back out and see which way is the easiest way to get those back in there. But you can see these are dry rotted real bad. I mean, how often do you really take these out? You know, here's one that's in pieces when I tore it out. But I tore them out so I can get them out so I can replace them with the new ones. But, so, I mean, you can kind of feel them. They're pretty dry rotted. So, you know, those may have been leaking as well. The valve cover gasket was the original one. Anything that I've taken apart for these newer ones have all had a gray gasket on them. So, the gray gasket on there kind of, well, I don't know if it's 100% correct, but it just tells me that those are the new ones that have not been removed yet. But this is what we're going to put back on here, is this nice new, well, it's not new, sorry, it's clean. But anyway, these gaskets on here, you can kind of, you know, here's the rubber one. They're pretty forgiving. They only fit in one way, and they got this little, I don't know if you guys have seen these before, but if you're watching this, maybe not, maybe you have. But anyway, they got that little lip in there, and then it just pushes down inside, and then it just settles right in there like that. but I mean, that's what they come like. So this is not a Felpro brand, and normally that's what I use. My wife just found these on, famous Amazon, and we're gonna try them out and see what happens. So they look the same, but they're like $10. So granted, spend a lot of time cleaning this up and putting them back together, so it may not be worth it, but we're gonna try it. Can't leak any worse than it was. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna see where we're at with these and see if I can't get them slid back in there and get this side put back together for you guys. But so far it hasn't been too bad. But this saved me a lot of time right there because I already had one cleaned up. So there you go. I'm glad I didn't throw crap away this time. All right, I'm gonna put this back together and we'll get her back on. All right, guys, I've about got this one back together. Just an FYI, I do have a torque wrench for this thing as well. So it's a 1/4 inch drive, 1 inch pounds. There's 4 bolts that go across the top of it. They are, 106? Well, I just set this up. It's 106 inch pounds. So I do have one of those, so I'm going to use it. So that won't be hopefully the problem if it leaks again. But anyway, that's where we're at. I'm going to use that to set that up. Put these 4 back on here. We'll throw this side together, and then once we get this one done, probably do well, you know what? Let me do it right now. So there's basically I don't know what you want to call it, a little needle nose pick or a flat screwdriver. You can pop the little fittings off for the electrical plugs. Pop those off there, and then the an 8mm, and of course the 10 that nobody can find. So I use 1/4 inch drive. It works fine, and it takes up less space, so it's a little bit easier to use. So an 8mm 6-point deep well and a 10mm 6-point deep well 1/4 inch drive is what I've been using, and that's pretty much all you got on here, other than just taking the plugs loose. And that's probably the hardest part about some of these newer vehicles, is just getting the plugs loose on them, because they got a little clip that you got to push out, and then they've got a little clip that you got to push down or pull up to get it off the plug. So anyway, that's probably the hardest part for me to figure it out. But anyway, we've got this side about done. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, but that's a couple of those. I mean, basically that's all I'm using. Flat-headed screwdriver, a small one for those clips, an 8mm, a 10mm, 1/4 inch drive, and then I actually have a 1 inch, or not a 1 inch, but an inch 1/4 inch drive torque wrench. So I'm going to use that. So I'm going to go ahead and button this other side up, and I'm going to knock the other side out, and then fire it up, and hopefully don't have any leaks. Guys, I forgot a major part of this puzzle is I'm going to clean up the surface on the top of the head. That could be a critical point, because if I miss cleaning that surface up, it wouldn't do any good to put a new gasket on there, because it won't have a good sealing point. So let me go get some towels. You guys ever drop those bolts and never hit the ground? Thankfully I got lucky on that one. All right, guys, real quick update. I ran into not really a problem, but just something else I looked at. Let me flip it. I don't know if you can see it. Back here on the back of this valve cover, let me get some better light. All right, so that, can't really see it. Anyway, that part right there is the rubber hose, and it's bent a certain way. Let me show you what it looks like. This hose comes off the back of the valve cover. All right, it's bent, and it goes into, don't ask guys, because I don't know terminology for all this, but anyway, it goes into this hose, goes back up here in the top of the intake. All right, so this hose, it's got some cracks and very brittle. Brittle? It's very brittle. So anyway, all right guys, we're gonna finish this up on this side. So all right, back to this hose back here. The one right there that goes in the back of the valve cover. It goes up here to the top into the intake. All right, that had a pretty good sized crack in it as well. I don't know if it'd be causing that much of an oil leak or not, but anyway, I went ahead and changed it out. I had another hose, so I changed it out. It's not the exact hose. I don't know what I did with it now. It's not the exact hose, but I don't think it's gonna matter as long as it's sealed up and it works. So I got this side back together. Don't forget to plug in your coil packs right here on the top. And then the rest of it is all plugged in. I just took them off and laid them over on its side. So I didn't unplug any of the plugs or coils or anything like that. All I did was unplug the main coil pack and then took the bracket off and then laid them off to the side. I did make, as you can see here, a little wire hook so I can hold that wire back to make it a little bit easier. But guys, that's gonna finish up that side. So I'm gonna work on the other side now. I had to stop earlier and my camera here was overheating. I didn't realize it was that warm out today, but it's I looked at the temperature and it's 90 degrees out with feels like 99 degrees out. So that was a few minutes ago before so it's hard to tell what it is right now, but I do have my air conditioner out here. So we're in good shape. And the flag is blowing, so that means I have got some breeze. So anyway guys, that's gonna finish it up. I don't know if there's anything else. I'm gonna finish up this side and then do a follow-up video with it and go from there. But this side, of course, I should have started with this side first because it's the worst side. It's a little harder to get to this side than it was the other side, but that'll give you guys just pretty quick an overall what needs to be looked at on here. So, and how to change those out. But other than that, let me get to this other side and finish this up today. All right guys, here's just another little tech tip that I've ran into. I do have another valve cover for the other side, like I showed you on the other one, on the driver's side. So, but I didn't have a filler neck with it. So I took the filler neck off of the old valve cover because it's pretty nasty. But anyway, there is a little, let me see here if I can get it on the camera for you guys. but inside here there's a little tab on there. You got to go inside that. Now I can do it with this one because it's off and it's easier to get to, but there's a little tab in there you got to get underneath of it and then pop it out a little bit without breaking it, and then you can twist the thing off. There's a little tab in there. I don't know if you can see it in this nasty mess, but right here at the end of this, there's a little tab in there that it hooks into. Well, it doesn't necessarily hook into, but it goes into. Just keeps it from spinning. So, I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, that little mess up tab right there. Sorry guys, this is a nasty mess. See if I can get a better view. Alright, so this little tab right there, it pushes in. I guess if you're looking at it like this, if you're on the inside digging it out like this, you're gonna pry it out and then twist off at the same, you're gonna pry this out, or I guess in this case, and then it twists off. Now let's hope it goes back together. I'm going to do what I can to save this up and clean this up a little bit. I'm pretty sure I don't have a rubber O-ring to replace that, so I'll probably silicone it up maybe after I get it cleaned up, but it's pretty nasty. So I'm going to give this a good cleaning, and then I'll put this new valve cover back on, and then we'll throw the other side back together. So I got a couple other shots I'll show you as well when I took this one off, because it's a little different than the other side, of course. The easy side is the driver's side. So anyway, that's it for this little bit of tip on this oil fill neck right now. So alright guys, I'm back. I'm going to finish this video up on the valve cover gasket replacement. Just a couple things I'll show you out here when I get to it. But it wasn't too bad. A couple hours of work. Wasn't too bad. Thankfully, the prep was the hardest part about it, but thankfully I had a set of valve covers ready to go, and they were already cleaned up, actually painted and ready. All I did was put the new gaskets in them and set them on there. I did have to change out the fill neck tube. So let me what I did, just an overall real quick. So new valve covers, well, cleaned up valve covers on both sides. I did have to change this fill neck out because my other set didn't have them, or this set I guess didn't have them, so I took this off the old one that came off of it. On the back corner you really can't see it, but back that bolt right there, and then that's a 10mm. I did use a deep well 6-point, but there's a bunch of that padding back here on the firewall, insulation, whatever you want to call it. So I actually went through the top of this back down along the firewall with a swivel and a 1/4-inch drive. Alright, that was a little different than the other side. Also, the back valve cover has got the 8mm. I did the same thing with it. I went down through the back side of the coolant lines, or I think they're coolant lines, AC lines, sorry. But anyway, I went behind them to get in there to that valve cover bolt that's in there. Then other than that, I did drop one nut that was holding the heater hose bracket, but I did find it. It didn't hit the ground though, but I found it laying on top of the frame. I did find it came loose, so I ended up tightening that back up. Other than that, I got the cover back on it. Nice, clean and shiny. Well, not clean and shiny, but somewhat shiny of what you can see. Don't forget guys to plug these in when you get done, and this is what I'm talking about. These little clips, pretty much pull that off, pull that up, and it just slides right out of there, and then on both sides. And then I just laid the valve covers, or not the valve covers, sorry, but the coil packs over. I did not unhook them, I just left them up. Wasn't too bad. I did, as you've seen earlier, I did tie this wire cable. I did pull this back out of the way so you can get underneath of it a little bit easier. But other than that guys, wasn't too bad. Like I said, the biggest prepping problem is just getting it cleaned up on the surface of the head, and then once I get that done. So anyway, that's it. Fired up, no leaks right now, but we'll keep an eye on this because it's been leaking for quite some time, so I'm hoping that this is the problem. I could be very wrong on that. It could be something else leaking real bad on the bottom of it, but we're gonna keep an eye on it. I know these were leaking, so it won't hurt to keep an eye on it and change it. So other than just a little bit of time to do it, and but other than that, guys, I guess that's about it. So, all right, I'll try and get this posted up as soon as I can, and hopefully you guys got some good information out of this. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you like it. Give me a thumbs up as well. Comment too, because I'm sure there's another way that somebody else has done it that might be a little bit easier than this. But anyway, you guys know the drills. So you guys hear it from everybody if you guys watch these YouTube videos. So all right, I will see you guys on the next one.